man. What's left in my life, don't know what's in store. I've been dealing with these blessings that I can't ignore. Putting up the numbers, we ain't keeping score. Man, amen. I here on the block, my side. Run it in the house for us 12 o'clock. Yeah, the hood love me, but you gotta watch. Amen. I just three, I don't do sleep. Yeah, tryna see, UV. Yeah, we gon' fall through, coming through deep. Amen. Yeah, packed it from the south, moved it to the west. Iced the logo on the cross, threw it on my neck. Yeah, when I rep the set, gotta stay blessed. Yeah. Amen. People tryna say I'm only enemy. Got a code with my dogs, can't get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Amen.
Man, what it meant to me. Everybody tryna take the identity. Everybody around me turn to a friend of me. Sit back while I take on the remedy. I cannot let it get into me. This playing a toll on me meant to me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game could end up being all about the defense as both teams rank in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed. The Redskins are #1 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Broncos, who will need to be sharp on offense. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl cornerback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's go. Hey.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. It's brought in by Doxson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connect.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. A huge play there for Washington. 53 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Derek Wolfe in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. This offense, here are the starters. It features a very speedy wide receiver, a Duke Blue Devil, Jamison Crowder.
Exactly right, and we're not talking about hoops. We're talking about a slot receiver who knows how to run all the routes so well and really is crafty beyond his years.
Let's go.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Eli Rogers hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Northwestern University. It's Trevor Siemian.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of a season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Siemian now to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. A gain of 6 there on first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And there are the numbers for C.J. Anderson on the ground last week. 19 carries, 77 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
On first down, Siemian. And this is going to be incomplete. Let's talk about the starting lineup offensively for the Denver Broncos, and let's talk about Devontae Booker.
I always described him as a guy who ate carries in college, meaning just keep handing it to him, and he got better as the game went on. Had a knee injury his last year at Utah, comes in a little bit older than your average back, but boys, he's skilled and talented. And he emulates Emmitt Smith in one way. Loves to keep the ball in his left hand at all times.
On second down, Anderson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
And this one complete to Virgil Green. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. This is Devontae Booker, and a big tackle there as the defender runs right through it, right on the 30-yard line. So 1 quarter in the books here on Christmas Eve. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Ryan Tannehill, a first-quarter touchdown pass in that one. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Out of the gun, Simeon. A dump off to Anderson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Now it's Chris Thompson on the return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. We remind you, no night game tonight on Christmas Eve, but we make that up with 2 games under your tree tomorrow. Oh, that's nice. I'm just reading the card. I got to give props to our writer, Ed Brady, there. But we start with the Steelers and Texans at 4:30 Eastern, followed by the Raiders and Eagles, a Super Bowl 15 rematch. You impressed that I know that?
I'm very much impressed that you know that. Who was the MVP?
Yep, that'll be at 8:30 Eastern from Philadelphia. Bridgewater to throw it. And that is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
When we talk about Akeem Talib, technique is not the word that comes to mind. But don't worry about that. This guy anticipates as well as anyone in the league. And he did just that, picking off another pass.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one.
There goes Green, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Virgil Green, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else.
Josh Dodson, the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Josh Dodson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now Anderson is slow to get up. Staying down after that last play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Off the play fake to Charles. This is Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete. Now the second-year man from Syracuse, Riley Dixon, on to punt, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. Oh, a little 360. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And now we look at Josh Doxson, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Derek Wolfe in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Out to the left, it's complete to Doxson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 18 yards the gain for number 18. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Looking deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And he comes back with one complete. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Eli Rogers with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Devontae Booker getting ready to head back out there now with his offensive unit. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, with the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs. On first down, it's Simeon. Drops it underneath for Booker. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. 12 more yards there and another first down. From the red zone now, Simeon. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. Again, Simeon. His throw caught right around the 6. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. They'll run it. This is Booker. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On second down, here's Simeon. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Virgil Green with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. This will be fielded at the 6. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. On second down, Bridgewater again. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. A first down throw for Bridgewater. He'll rifle this from deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit, Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On third down, Bridgewater. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Redskins with the ball midway through 1. Rodgers the target here, and he counts off the 7-play drive with the score as they take a 7-0 lead. First and 10, under pressure here, and the pass is picked off. And it's Talib who makes the play for this defensive stop. Now following the turnover, Green's by himself here, and 53 yards later, he'll go in for the score, which takes the lead to 3. Now first and 10, Dotson's going to haul in the pass, and this long run goes for a touchdown. The lead grows to 4. Redskins line up at the 13. Rodgers is the target here, and 13 yards later, he'll go in for the score. The lead now at 11. Broncos now late in the second. Green's wide open here on the catch. He caps off the 7-play drive with a score. This cuts the deficit to 4.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And Fowler's got it. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And 21 yards there as they convert on third. First down throw, Simeon. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
See him now play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays. Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Simeon. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Trent Murphy coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half.
And he's going to go down again. Trent Murphy in there to drop him for the 2nd straight play. They may want to block him on 3rd down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ryan Kerrigan in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Time to take a glance into what we've seen so far from Teddy Bridgewater. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. They find some open field here. And he's out of bounds, able to get it up right near the 25 to the 24. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
They're throwing it on first down, but no one was open, so he gets flushed out of the pocket, runs towards the sidelines, gets out of bounds with a good gain and a first down.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. At FedEx Field, it's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. After the interception, here's Simeon. And his throw is incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Simeon, and he's got Booker. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all.
There goes Green. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Virgil Green with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Well, we've seen some lead changes, and it certainly appeared that one of these squads was in full control of the game, but that's not the case after that touchdown.
Yeah, they erase a 2 TD deficit here to grab the lead. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Throwing, Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Bridgewater. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well,
and he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Rob Kelly, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Here's Bridgewater, and he is going to go down, back at the 11-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This is taken at the 3. Sanders, the 30, 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, 97 yards. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Now McManus for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Look at Washington as they come onto the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense? That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 51 yards. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving. And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos will take over on downs. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down. And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. Running again, and again it's Booker. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now it's the Chiefs' all-time leading rusher. It's Jamal Charles on the carry. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. Now that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them. This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The final score now coming from Nashville. And the Rams now have swung back in front in that game. Jared Goff, 2 touchdown passes in the W. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Denver, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.
Yeah. Young Gerald. Yeah. Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in the news now. Yeah. Lead a club with a few now. Just some Hollywood girls and they do. I'm in the mood now. 2 a.m. What you wanna do now? What you wanna do now? Little baby pass. Don't spill on me. That's Margella. Got this Oakland game to tell her. She look familiar. At Coachella, what's her name? Isabella, forget it, yeah. It's like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna function, got some places we could go. Lot y'all got me speaking slow like, yeah, I'm blessed. I don't GA, you tryna, yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't go. Say less. Yeah. Say less. Hey girl, what it do? If you got friends, cool, bring a few through. No fun if the homies man. R.I.P. Nate Dogg, this too true. And you know what I'm down for. Round 2, round 3, and a round 4. Mood switch when she knocked at the front door. Next up was the uproar. Yeah, was like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna tuck off, got some places we could go. Swear she got the like wow, she's blessed. I don't GA. You tryna yes on yes. Say less. Say less. say less.
Sheesh, what you saying? I don't understand. I'm out my mind. I popped. Sheesh, I swear this lock shot got me stuttering. Girl, you so fine, I fall in love again. Sheesh, get it, my favorite rush. You talkative, ain't gotta say too much. Be quiet, who got some grapes? I'm trying to